We got some kingfish, a whole bunch of prepped vegetables there, some plain old white vinegar, sugar, salt, black pepper, and Caribbean green seasoning. What's up, soldiers? Chris here, CaribbeanPod.com. Always a pleasure having you guys here in the kitchen with me as we continue with Fish Fridays during the Lenten season. I give you Escovitch Kingfish. Yes, we've done the Escovitch snapper, we've done the Escovitch sauce. Head over to CaribbeanPod.com if you want those recipes. Printable, yeah, printable. But today, Escovitch Kingfish. Stay tuned, you're gonna love this one, man. Yeah, and I know my Jamaican brothers and sisters are probably thinking to themselves, Escovitch fish, but there's no snapper? Yeah, I've done that recipe before. We've done Escovitch snapper before. Today we're doing things a little bit different, and you're gonna see some differences in this recipe. For instance, we're using kingfish. I'm gonna use a bit of Caribbean green seasoning. But more on that later. Let's season the fish. And the seasoning is pretty simple. Black pepper, salt. I like using sea salt. You can use whatever salt you like using. And I have here about 3 pounds of kingfish, and they're cut about 1 inch thick. It's been cleaned, and I've washed it with the juice of a lemon and cool water, and I drained it dry, and that's when we got to this point here. To that, yeah, a little bit different than the traditional Jamaican style Escovitch fish. Instead of using powdered garlic powder and onion powder and you know all those, no, let's go fresh. We're going with Caribbean green seasoning. Don't hate, just appreciate and give it a try. You will see what I'm talking about. It's just brilliant doing it this way. All we're gonna do is give that a quick mix. The other sort of significant difference you will notice with this Escovitch fish versus the traditional Jamaican one is I'm using some flour, just plain old all-purpose flour. Just gonna move that around a bit, and we have those seasoned pieces of fish. Just gonna give it a light dusting. And you're wondering, well, why do we need to do it? No, here's the thing. There's always a reason and a purpose for everything Uncle Chris does. What that's gonna do, it's gonna help create a crust. It's gonna give us a nice color. And that crust, that flour, once we make the Escovitch sauce, that sort of pickle, that sort of briny prickle. Ha ha ha! Oh guys, look how YouTube is gonna ban me now. Listen. That's gonna soak up all of that niceness there. Trust me on this. So it's just a matter like dusting, nothing too spectacular. And I mean, let's say if you want to use cornmeal, use cornmeal. If cornmeal is your thing, it will work as well too. So all we're doing is just flour dusting. Heat your oil. You need vegetable oil, canola oil, corn oil, whatever you use to fry your fish. Go ahead and do your thing at this point. As my oil comes up to temperature, yeah, I'm sort of shallow frying this fish. We're gonna shift over here now to my other saucepan where we're gonna work on the sort of pickle, the sort of Escovitch sauce to top the fish with. I have my saucepan on a medium flame, and I'm going in with plain white vinegar. There is no need, absolutely no need to go out there and buy all kind of apple cider vinegar and all kind of thing like that. Personally, I find that apple cider vinegar gives it a sort of a weird taste, but that is just Uncle Chris, you know what I mean? What I'm going to start off with is the carrots, and this is just julienne carrots, because that's going to take the longest to sort of, and you're not trying to cook it, all you're trying to do is, one, warm up that vinegar, so it's going to absorb all those flavors, and by warming up, it's going to pull the flavors out of everything. We have an assortment of bell pepper, scotch bonnet pepper, we've got pimento berries, we've got onions, all those things. But I just want to start off here with that carrot, and it's been julienne. It's like matchsticks basically. And because I want that deep rich flavor from the start, I'm going to go in with my allspice or pimento berries or pimento seeds from the start here. Move that around. The longer it's in that warm vinegar, the more flavor it's going to pull out. And I just want the carrot in there for about a minute or two, because they're really small pieces. Next up, I like going in with some fresh ground black pepper. Totally optional, but it works. I like giving it a bit of granulated sugar. And that is the sugar, the vinegar, the scotch bonnet pepper, everything. It's about balance, so everything's going to balance off nicely in there. And speaking about scotch bonnet pepper, I have here half of a scotch bonnet pepper that I sliced up, and I want to show you all something if we haven't talked about it yet. If you're new to the channel, that is the inside of a scotch bonnet pepper. That white membrane and seeds around there, that's where most of the heat is. I am not making this very spicy today, but a good Escovitch should be spicy, so I should technically be using all of this. I am not using the seeds. I'm trying to control the heat. Now, the rest of the ingredients to go in there will be bell peppers, an assortment of bell peppers, pretty much all cut the same size, and a ton of thickly sliced onion. Just gonna give that a toss. Oh, and already, yo, you're picking up all that niceness thing, man. I'm picking up the onion, the garlic, the peppers, that scotch bonnet pepper, and those pimento seeds or pimento berries. I'm telling you, boy, we just want to, and you want to keep this on a medium-low heat. We don't want anything vigorous. We're not trying to necessarily cook everything. We want to just soften up and pull out flavors out of the ingredients in here. And we spoke about balance earlier. We need some salt. So some sea salt. I'm just going to go in with a tiny bit more. Let's give that another quick little mix there. Make sure that garlic is sitting in the liquid because we want to pull out all that flavor from the garlic. And that garlic is optional. I don't know if I mentioned that yet or not, but I just love garlic in just about everything I make. So now here's the thing. Typically when I make this as well, I put a little bit of thyme, some fresh thyme in here, but that is optional. For now, we're just going to let that sort of simmer on a low heat. And let's jump over to frying the fish now. So I'm not going to crowd the pan. I'm just putting 4 pieces at a time. I got 6 pieces in total. And we're going to keep it about 3-4 minutes on each side. And we're going to flip it over, take it off, drain it, and get ready to dress it with that Escovitch sauce. I went ahead and I gave them a flip, so you notice the lovely color we get in, and that is compliments of that flour that we dusted it with. Now, you will get browning happening because that's just natural when you fry stuff, but to add a little bit more texture and everything else, that's why we went in with the flour. Plus, as I said, later on, once we drop that Escovitch sauce onto there, mama, real thing. No, I refuse to be held guilty and accountable for overcooked fish. So this is perfectly fried to my liking. That said, Escovitch fish is a very forgiving recipe. And what I mean by that is, no matter how, well, with limitations, if you fry that fish really crispy, really dry, because we're putting that sort of pickle, that sort of sauce on there, yo, it just brightens it up back, so it's a very forgiving recipe even if you overcook the fish. But the second batch going in there now. It's been about 7 minutes, so what I'm going to do now, I want my vegetables to hold on a bit of texture, and that was on a very low heat. I don't know if you guys recall. I'm going to turn the heat off and let that sort of remain on the burner there for the residual heat. And if you notice something, let me see if I can get to it. Notice how big that pimento berry got? If you wanted to smash a couple of those and put it in there, you can certainly do that. But the more liquid went in there, we know that liquid went in, and the liquid made all kind of niceness happen. So we're going to turn off that stove and let that sit until we're done frying the fish. The fish is all done frying now, and I had it sitting on some paper towels, just relaxing, just soaking up most of that oil from there. All we got to do now is put it on the platter or serving plate or whatever it is you're using, and pour that wonderful vegetable pickle all over it, and then you've got Escovitch Kingfish. Sup, soldiers? Listen, If you enjoy this recipe, I'd really appreciate it if you hit subscribe and click that bell notification thing. If you've made the recipe, take a picture and send it to me. Email address down here. I mean, trying to tell people the email address, them butts will take the address and do all kind of thing with it. And tag me on Instagram at Caribbean Pot. I really appreciate you guys, and thanks for being in my kitchen with me today. Irie. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Always a pleasure having you guys here in the kitchen with me. Escovitch Kingfish. I remember what I said earlier about drizzling that vinegar, that Escovitch sauce, and it's going to soak up with that bit of flour that we dusted the fish in to start off with. If you have any of that leftover Escovitch sauce, all you got to do is put it into a glass container, put it in your fridge, and that will last for a while. Now, this here is pure niceness. As we continue with Fish Fridays, next week I'm going to drop a wicked fish soup or fish tea recipe using the head of the kingfish. Yeah, we use the entire fish in the Caribbean, and we ain't kind of skylarking and wasteful and ting. Enjoy yourself. Irie.